Thomas More was born in Milk Street, London, on February 7, 1478.
Oh, Thomas, what a wonderful baby you are.
His dad was Sir John More, a prominent judge.
I am a successful lawyer. Thomas, you will grow up and be a lawyer just like me.
As a youth, he served as a page in the household of Archbishop Morton, who anticipated More would become a marvelous man. More went to study at Oxford, which is a very fancy university. During this time, he wrote comedies and studied Greek and Latin literature. One of his first works was an English translation of a Latin biography, which was published in Paris. Around 1494, Thomas More returned to London to study law, was admitted to Lincoln's Inn, and he then became a barrister in 1501. Thomas More didn't automatically decide to be a lawyer. He was torn between becoming a monk or serving the public. He lived in a nearby monastery and taking part of the monastic life, prayer, fasting, and other stuff. He eventually decided to enter Parliament in 1504.
Young Thomas, you would be an excellent monk. Yes, Father, I would be, but I think I have a calling to public life.
More married Jane Colt in 1505. She was almost 10 years younger than him. More wanted to receive his wife a better education than she had previously received at home, and tutored her in music and literature.
Oh, Thomas, this is the happiest day of my life.
Thomas More and Jane Colt got married. Soon they had 4 children. Their names were Margaret, Elizabeth, Similarly, and John. Thomas wanted his children to all have a good education, even if they were boys and girls.
This is going to be your favorite room. It's the library. You're going to have to read them and learn all these books, because I expect the same out of you if you're a boy or a girl.
Thomas liked writing. He wrote comedies and did translations in college. He met a friend in London who also liked to do translations, and it was the beginning of a lifelong friendship and correspondence where they worked on translating books. They produced Latin translations of Lucian's work, which was published in Paris. Thomas would later go on to write a few more books. Thomas More's most famous book was called Utopia.
Look for my new book on bookshelves everywhere.
Thomas More got selected to go to Parliament. One of his first acts in Parliament was to vote no on a proposal to King Henry VII. This made King Henry VII very upset. To get revenge, he imprisoned Thomas More's father and didn't release him until a fine was paid and Thomas More himself had withdrawn from public life.
That Thomas guy made me really upset. Get his dad. Help! Help! Don't put me in jail! You will have to pay a fine if you want to get out of here.
In 1510, Thomas was appointed one of the 2 sheriffs in London. He was known for being fair and treated the poor well.
Yay! Thomas always treated us well.
In 1511, More's first wife died in childbirth. Thomas More was very popular, and there were many women he could have married.
Oh, I am so sad to see Jane go. Hi, Thomas. How are you doing?
But he married Alice Milton. Her husband had just died, and she was wealthy. They were a very happy couple, but did not have any more children. During the next decade, Thomas attracted the attention of King Henry VIII. He helped claim disputes about the wool trade,
Yay!
quelling a London uprising against foreigners. This was put in a Shakespeare play and some other uprisings.
Yay!
King Henry VIII, Thomas More was very helpful and asked him to become a member of the kingdom's council.
Hey, Thomas, you've been very helpful. Why don't you join me on my council?
Thomas More was knighted in 1521 and became Sir Thomas More.
Now we will call you Sir Thomas More.
Martin Luther, a German monk, wanted to change the Catholic religion. He taught that salvation and entry into heaven would not be earned by giving money, but this was only received only as a free gift of God's grace through faith in Jesus Christ as Redeemer from sin.
There are my suggestions to make the church better.
Martin Luther's theology challenged the authority of the Pope and the Roman Catholic Church. Sir Thomas More was a very devoted Catholic, and he didn't like Martin Luther's ideas.
King, we can't let him get away with this. We have to do something. All right, why don't you write something, Thomas? Sounds good. I will do that right away.
He helped King Henry VIII write a defense of the seven sacraments, which Sir Thomas More. This helped Sir Thomas More become Speaker of the House. As Speaker, Sir Thomas More helped establish the parliamentary privilege of free speech. Martin Luther's ideas were becoming very popular. To strap a big uprising, Sir Thomas More had 6 people who were leading the uprising burned at the stake.
Ouch, ouch, this hurts, ow, ow, ooh, ouch.
Sir Thomas More didn't like divorce, so when King Henry VIII explained his plan to divorce Catherine of Aragon, Sir Thomas More explained he couldn't support that.
Yes, Thomas, I think it's time for me and Catherine to get divorced. Oh, I don't think that's a good idea, King. I'm not for divorce.
Thomas More's work was very good, but his fall came quickly. Sir Thomas More wanted to resign in 1532, citing ill health, but the real reason was probably the disapproval of King Henry VIII's plan to separate London from the Catholic Church. Sir Thomas More also refused to attend the coronation of Anne Boleyn, the king's new wife. This made King Henry VIII upset.
That wasn't very nice that Thomas More didn't show up. You are absolutely right. I'll get back at him for this.
Soon Sir Thomas More was accused of doing all sorts of stuff, but Sir Thomas More, being a good lawyer that he was able to show proof he did nothing wrong. In April 1534, Sir Thomas More refused to swear the Act of Succession, which was a paper saying the king wanted to separate from Rome, and he also refused to swear the oath of supremacy to the new queen. Sir Thomas More wrote a letter saying he accepted the new queen, but that wasn't good enough, and he was committed to the Tower of London. Sir Thomas More was found guilty of treason and was beheaded along Bishop Fisher on July 6, 1535. Before his head was cut off, Sir Thomas More asked that his beard be straightened so it wouldn't be cut off. Sir Thomas More's final words were, "The king's good servant, but God's first." Thomas More's head was put on a stick and placed on a bridge that went over a river. Some people believed his daughter bribed someone to get his head before it was thrown into the river.
Oh, excuse me, dear man. Could you go out there and save my father's head before it falls in the river? Why, sure, my dear. I am the best head saver in the whole world.
The Catholic Church remembered how good Sir Thomas More was to them. So in 1886, he was beatified by the Pope in Rome.
That Sir Thomas More was a great guy.
And in 1935, Sir Thomas More was canonized by the Catholic Church and was declared a saint.
So today you can call Sir Thomas More Saint Thomas More.
Sir Thomas More is a big maker of change because he is principled, brave, caring, and a risk-taker. He stood up for what he believed in, even if he had to disagree with the king. He wants a world to be a utopian place where girls and boys get the same education and the poor are treated fairly. He is a remarkable man because he wants people to care for each other and make the world a better place for everyone. There are lots of colleges and libraries named after Thomas More throughout the world. He even has his own football and baseball teams. So take that, other people!